Hello everybody and welcome back into my kitchen. Today I'm going to make a dish that is native to Spain. It's called paella and I'm going to do a seafood version of it. So let me show you the ingredients that we'll be using today. Alright, so first of all I have here 2 cups of sort of short to medium grain rice. It's suggested that you not use long grain for this recipe. So actually I've never worked with this rice before, so it's gonna be an adventure for both me and you. So I found this at my grocery store. It's called I guess rice for paella, and this one is medium grain and it's parboiled. I chose to go with the parboiled just because, like I said, I've never worked with it before and I don't want to end up with a hot mess. So here is 1 part of the seafood that we're going to be using. It is, these are mussels and they're actually quite reasonably priced this time of year. So I went for it, and what I did was I put them in water for 15 minutes and took my toothbrush and scrub them. And on the edges, sometimes there's something called a beard that's kind of furry that they use to attach themselves to rocks or to rope or whatever it is. So you have to pull that out, okay? In here, I have 12 extra large shrimp and 12 scallops. So I washed these with lime and I seasoned it with a little garlic powder, some bullion powder, and also some black pepper. All right, next we have, I'm going to use some yellow bell pepper for a pop of color. I usually don't like to cut vegetables big like this, but I think it'll be okay in this dish. Next, I have 1 shallot that I sliced thinly and 4 cloves of garlic that I grated. I don't know why my camera is fuzzy today. There we go. All right. And here I have a 1/2 cup of frozen peas. I also have here a 1/2 cup of pureed tomato from the can. We're also going to be using some olive oil, maybe about 1/4 cup or a little bit less. And we're going to be using some smoked paprika. I have 1 tablespoon here. And in this corner, I have some saffron fronds. That's going to help with the color and the flavor. I bought them in this thing here. It's a bit pricey. And oh, one more thing. So I made some fish stock. I had a piece of fish in the freezer. I just washed the fish with lime, put it in a pan with some water and added some garlic, onion, thyme, celery, and just slowly boil it. And then I strained it off. So I'm gonna take these saffron fronds and put them in here with that broth so it can have a chance to marry into the broth and then release some of its flavor and color. All right, so I have my pan here on medium flame. I've been heating it up, and it's very similar to the pan that they make paella in. The paella pan is kind of shallow with a wide bottom. So I'm going to use this. I'm going in here with about 1/4 cup of olive oil. To that, I'm going to add in my shallots and my garlic. Let me take my heat down a little because I don't want this to burn. I'm going to saute this for a couple of minutes and then we'll come back. All right, I'm going to go in now with my tomato. Give that a stir and let that go for a couple minutes. All right, I'm gonna go in with my paprika, and I have my heat on pretty low because I don't want to really brown this per se, but I want to give these things, these ingredients, an opportunity to release their flavor and to cook through without burning. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so one thing I want to say about mussels, you have to be pretty careful to be sure that they are alive, because if you eat dead mussels, you're going to get very sick. Now you see this one here, it's open. How you tell if it's alive, you tap it and you see it's closing. Look, so it's alive, you know it's alive. They're all closed now, but when they hit the pot, they should pop open within a couple minutes. Anyone that's not popping open needs to be thrown in the trash. So I've just added my rice and I'm gonna let it saute for a minute or so. And this rice, from what I understand, once we add the liquid, we can't really fool with this because we're gonna end up with soup. So I'm just gonna let this toast a little bit. Actually, let me go in with my my peppers now. And then what I'll do is next add my fish broth and then let that go for about 10 minutes, and then we'll add in the seafood. Okay, I'm adding some black pepper, just about, I don't know, quarter teaspoon. And now I'm going in with my broth. Looks like I'll need more broth, but I have more. That's no big deal. I made extra. All right, let me get some more in here. So in all, I added 2.5 cups of fish broth. So I'm going to put a lid on this, a little bit of jar, and let that go for about 10 minutes. Then I'll come back and start adding in our seafood. All right, so now I'm going to go in with my peas. Alrighty, and let me start putting in my little guys here. Alright, I'll get them in there and I'll come back and show you what they look like. Alright, so everything is in the pot and I'm going to lid it up and give them about 8 or 9 minutes, okay? Alright, so we're back. It's been about 9 minutes or so. And as you can see, my mussels have popped open and everything is looking really delicious. I'm just gonna go in with a little drizzle of olive oil. And then I'm gonna turn my flame off and cover this again and just let it sit for another 5 minutes or so. All right, and here we have it. This is my attempt at paella, and I'm going to take a tiny little taste, but I don't want to disrupt this display right now because I haven't taken photos yet, but let me take a taste and I'll tell you what I think. All right, I snuck a bite from under a lemon wedge. But if you look here, you'll see how delicious that looks. I have a scallop here on my spoon, and you see it's still hot. right, here goes. Wow. Okay. It's very fragrant. I've never tasted a short grain rice before. It's a little different. The smoked paprika is really coming through. The saffron really coming through, and the seafood broth really gave it a nice oceanic taste that I like. I think you guys should try this. I don't know if I'm a fan of the short grain thing, but it's good. It's just I'm not used to that. Anyway, the taste is fantastic. I would really like it if you guys would try this, and I would really love it if you would come back again when I'll be making another delicious recipe. Bye bye.